Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we are going to discuss movie called Cabin in the Wood. Pretty fresh one, 2011, right? And in our pre-warning session, Leila asked us, is it a horror movie, or is it a thriller? And I found myself that I cannot kind of describe what is the difference between horror movie and a thriller. Leila, do you know the difference?
I think, if I'm not wrong, Teacher Lee will help me. Horror movies are, usually made for people who like to feel a bit excited, and they make them afraid. But thrillers, I think they are like zombies and other things. I think thrillers are better. No, worse.
I would say a thrill is a surprise with a little fear element. So I would say a thriller has suspense. You don't know what's going to happen next. You're constantly being surprised. Oh my God. Oh, but horror has to do with monsters and ghosts.
But Teacher Lee, when I started watching this movie, I wasn't expecting these things, So can we call this movie a horror movie or a thriller?
Well, it's a horror movie because it had monsters in it.
Okay.
The monsters kind of make it horror.
All right. Thank
you.
The
Suspense. Who are these guys? What are they doing? How did this, what's going on? When you're wondering, what's going to happen next? The end of the world? Really? That's kind of thrills or suspense or surprises.
And the music, right? Something.
Yeah. So kind of different emotions. Yeah, horror is more fear and of monsters. Thriller is more excitement.
Right. Thank you.
So can I say that in a horror movie, I know that they will try to scare me from the first moment, right? But in thriller movie, I don't know what to expect, right? They just put me in, step by step, Let's go together to this forest. Okay, good idea.
Indiana Jones was a thriller. It was just one moment of danger after another moment of danger. Oh, is he going to die? Oh, is he going to die? Oh, is he going to die? You're always wondering, is he going to die? So that's a thriller. You're on the edge of your seat. Oh, what's going to happen? But horror is a little different. Somebody's going to die in a horror movie. Maybe everybody.
Can I say that it's a mixed genre today? So we have a honor movie, we have a thriller and honor movie in one combined.
Yeah, mixed genre is also possible.
Okay, because it looks like this combination today. Okay, Vova, could you please tell us a little bit about characters?
The main character was Dana.
We have 5 kids, right? So let's try to explain describe the setup in the beginning, right? There are 5, who are they? Students?
Yes.
Probably, right? So there are 5 students, 5 kids, right? What are their names?
The main character is Dana.
A girl?
A girl, yes.
Why do you think she's the main one?
She's a survivor.
Okay, as we learn later, right? She's going to die the last one, right? Okay, Dana, you are right.
Marty.
Who is Marty? Marty?
Marty, your friend. Their friend.
Their friend. Yeah, he's a guy who is always smoking, right?
I don't remember.
He's trying to be funny. He always smoking, Marty.
Yes.
Okay, who else?
Holden. It was some scientist or.
Yeah, you're right.
She was good in some sense.
Okay.
Kurt.
Alpha male, right? But they made him alpha male, right? He was not that at the beginning. He's just a student.
He was a psychologist.
Psychologist, okay. And the last one?
Jules.
A blonde girl. Okay. Who else? That's all, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we have these 5 students. Let's name someone else. So lab technicians.
I can remember only Mordecai.
Mordecai.
His name.
Usually, is it a normal name that you hear a lot? Mordecai?
Yeah.
Well, probably I have never seen something like this.
Not
Okay.
real common, but we know the name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guess the origin of this name? Usually.
I cannot.
Yeah, looks strange. Okay, Mordecai, and another one was Hadley, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hadley is another lab technician. They are kind of funny as well, right? So the humor in the movie, there are a lot of humor around these technicians, right? Okay, Truman, new one, and who else? The director. We never saw him, but it was a lady, right? This lady.
That's Sigourney Weaver, the aliens, Ripley, Lieutenant Ripley. That was her. She had a small part at the end.
Wow. I didn't mean this, but looks like I find it teacherly a little bit because Sigourney Weaver. How could I forget?
She's famous, very famous.
Yeah.
But she was the voice. If you may not have noticed, but during the movie, a voice kept whispering to the students, telling them what to do. Read it, go for a walk, go for a walk. That was her voice.
Teacher Lee, do the students know it's a kind of game?
No, they didn't know. They were clueless.
Okay.
They had been secretly drugged to be open to suggestion. So when they got to the cabin, the voice would suggest what they should do, and they subconsciously they would do it.
You know, while they are discussing this matter in the lab, the guy, I think he is one of the lab assistant or technician, he said it is their free will. So I didn't understand that a lot.
Okay, they were manipulated most of the time.
Okay.
But the one thing that they had to do of their own free will is in the basement, they had to choose which way they were going to die.
Oh my
That
God.
decision had to be free will.
Very generous. Very generous.
And they chose the zombie method. When they read the Latin, that was choosing the zombies coming back to life, and that they chose their own way to die. That was what had to be free will.
Oh, I like this part for him so much. This scene when it was a lot of suspense, dark room, everything is unclear, and the guy is starting to read in Latin. Man, wow! I would be scared to death.
And in other movies, anytime you read Latin, evil always happens. So Marty's over there saying, "Whoa, I'm drawing the line here. Don't read the Latin."
Yes, I remember Marty said, "Please don't, no Latin, please."
Yeah. Well, teacher Lee just said, "Draw the line." Do you understand what that means? So it's kind of, before the line I found acceptable, but after the line, you should not go there. So there is my line, right? So never read Latin on the graveyard.
And I remember what Marty was saying, no, anything but no, not Latin.
Exactly.
Now, see, Marty was what we might call a wrench in the works. He was a fly in the ointment. He was a problem area for the laboratory.
Yeah.
Because the students had all been secretly drugged before they went on the trip, so that they were mentally able to, so they could control them with suggestions. Marty, however, what they did is they drugged his pot. Well, he had a secret stash of pot hidden away. So on the trip, he grabbed his secret stash of marijuana, and it was not drugged.
Yeah.
So he was not drugged like the others. So he heard the voice. What? Where's that voice? You don't hear that voice? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know? So he was always saying, what are you doing? Don't do this. It's stupid. We're puppets. We're being controlled. There's a conspiracy here. And they all thought he was crazy.
We have seen many movies, right? When, someone poison your glass, right? With a drink. It was kind of the same, right? But you don't drink this glass. So he had a secret kind of another drink, another pot. So he wasn't poisoned. That's the clue,
Right.
Okay, let's go with the question. So if we covered some, just keep it, not a problem. We will go to another one. So have fun, right? So Gerard, could you please tell us about number one? If you forgot something. If you not, we can go to number two.
Number one, what the heck they are on a weekend trip in the cabin of one of cousin of the protagonist, the guy, how is called, the big guy, Thor, the guy that plays Thor.
Yeah, one famous movie star, two really, yeah.
Yeah, I think this guy had a cousin, and at the end we know that it wasn't true. That this cousin has a cabin in the woods, in the mountain, and they go there with an RV, recreational vehicle.
Yeah.
And in the middle find this hillbilly in the gas station. Are they common in America, these sort of small gas stations?
I don't think there's very many of them, but there may be a few, but not as creepy as that one. I don't think so. Yeah, that was creepy.
Is this guy a hillbilly or a redneck?
Yeah, redneck for sure. Yeah, redneck, hillbilly. Yeah, chewing that, tobacco. Just disgusting. Oh.
Well, I agree with you. I cannot argue on this because this guy, and his one eye was full of blood or something. It was red eye. I remember.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay.
Yeah, and I would not like to have a conversation with this guy, in whatever situation. Good bad one.
Getting to the cabin ain't going to be your problem. Getting back is. So a little bit of ominous foretelling of the future.
Yeah, not clear why they need this. Why they need to do this warning. It's kind of unclear, right?
Well, this is what was kind of interesting. I don't know if you remember, but Sitterson, the most senior guy in the facility, the guy kind of in charge or running the show, he said there's certain rules to the game.
I see.
Okay. The gods don't only want blood, they want entertainment. Yeah. So they have to give the students an opportunity to save themselves.
I see.
It kind of goes back to the free will. They have to put themselves in danger and choose how they're going to die. So the gas station was the first test. You don't want to go there. If you go there, you might not come back. If that had scared them off, then they were not the right kind of sacrifices, if you will. They were too cautious.
Yes, thank you. It sounds very logical. Now I understand it. So there are rules, right? So you have to give them a chance. Otherwise, it's just, no game at all.
Exactly. Yeah. So the gods want to be entertained also.
Okay. Vasant, can you talk? Would you like to answer number two?
Yeah. Sitterson and Hadley, are they the executives from that cabin?
They're the two lab techs.
The lab techs. Yeah. They are working for the unknown organization which conducts this experiment, and they seem very they are aware of what the organization is doing, and they enjoy everybody's death and every moment. They take care of if the participants go in any wrong direction, or if they try to escape from the death, then they will use some technologies and change their mind or change the situation to how they want them to die. So, yeah.
Okay, so they kind of directed the game. If it didn't go in the right direction, they made some adjustments and made the game go in the direction they wanted. Exactly.
Okay, can I ask something? Is it legal? That yeah, I just
Well-
wonder because it's so stupid.
They're going to
me.
cause the death of 5 people. Yeah, it's illegal. They're
Literally,
sacrificing
this-
5 people.
Literally,
let's
this is something, so merciless for me. How could they, plan something? And I saw a lot of people there supporting this. And I didn't understand why they're sacrificing people. Is it
Okay.
a game?
we will
It's-
answer this. Yeah, we will answer this.
Yeah, it's a game.
they are kind of saving the planet, saving the world.
Oh my
Have-
God.
Layla, have you ever heard of the trolley car problem?
No.
In the trolley car problem, there's a trolley car coming on a rail.
Yep.
And the rail splits in the front to 2 rails.
Mhm.
And you can control which rail it goes to.
Yep.
On one rail, there's one person that's tied to the track. And if you send it on that rail, it'll kill one person. On the other rail, there's 5 people tied to the track. And if you send it that way, it'll kill 5 people. So your decision is, do you kill one person or 5 people?
Okay.
So either way, you got to kill somebody. So what would you do? Would you actually it's a little bit different. You can do nothing and 5 die, or you can push one guy onto the track and kill him and cause the train to derail. So you can kill 1 to save 5. Would you
Mhm.
do it? And
Sure.
some people say, I wouldn't kill the 1. I would do nothing, And other people say, sure, I'd kill 1 to save 5. It's arithmetic,
Rest. Mhm.
So this is that kind of a game.
Yeah. Okay. So they are answering second question, right? There are 2 lab technicians who are in charge of the game. They are very proficient, I would say, right? Very experienced. They have competitors. Do you remember about the game in Japan or somewhere else, right?
Yes, Squid Games like.
Yeah, that's like Squid Games. You're right. So they are. Who are they? Can I say they are producers or something? So they produce the whole show, right? They are kind of manage it.
Yep. They're producers. Yeah, show producers of a sort. Yeah.
Okay, let's go further. So number 3 we already answered. Mordecai is this guy on the gas station, right? With a white, wow, scary guy. Okay, let's speak about the bet. Layla, have you watched this moment?
Yeah, that part I watched it, and I was really angry because they are just having money about who's going to survive, I think. So this is a kind of bet. But there was this black guy. He doesn't want to get involved with the bets.
He was a new one, right? He was a fresh one.
Right.
Have you heard about, some occupations, they kind of teach people to be cynic, like doctors, doctors usually very, what's the word for this? Cynical. So they can joke about, black topics. Have you heard about?
Because maybe they know human body, dead bodies, corpse. They cut. They just, do everything.
It's kind of a defensive mechanism of our brain. If you see a lot of death, every day.
Yeah.
So you kind of defend yourself. You became to be cynical, right? So they joke who is going to die first, who is, who had a chance. They have a kind of peculiar, I don't know, black humor. Doctors are famous for this, right? So I look on these lab technicians like kind of the same way. So they are, providing all these games, many games, and people die here, right? So they just got used to this, in my opinion.
Ivan, when I just looked at 5 kids, especially I like Chris a lot. I said, what is going to happen to them? What are they betting on? And as soon as I understood that they are betting on their lives, I said, oh my God.
Yeah, not
So-
only lives, everything, what way will they choose, right? For instance, zombie or something else. So
Yeah.
everything.
That's what they were betting. They were betting on what method would they choose to die. Would they read the Latin? Would they open the round ball? Which method would they choose to die? That's what they were betting on. Now, the maintenance department, they always bet on the zombies. So they happened to win this time. Remember Hadley, the lab tech, he always wanted them to choose the Merman. He'd never seen a Merman before. So he kept betting on the Merman, but no one ever chose the Merman method to die. But the young woman explained it. Remember, the black guy was a new guy.
Yeah.
And you had a woman who was pretty smart. And they were watching everyone betting on how these people were going to die. And the rookie was disgusted. How can they bet on how people are going to die? And she explained to him, they understand this is a very serious situation. However, our business is killing people. This is not a happy thing for us to do. So we've got to find joy in our jobs in some way. So we find joy in betting on things. So it's kind of a competition to see who can guess what's going to happen. So the betting was kind of a stress relief for the employees.
What a stress relief, teacher. Here, I was like a statue. I can't move. I can't move.
They do this all the time. They do this repeatedly, over and over and over. So this is their job, setting people up and watching them die over and over and over. So it's
I don't understand one thing, teacher Lee. We have watched a lot of films, and a lot of these films are, just about killing people. I don't understand. Is it a kind of new trend in this world?
We've always had monster movies and war movies.
Just Squid Games, and this one, and also we watched Prison. Do you remember a lot of how can I say, floors, and the rich ones on the top floor, blah blah.
Okay.
Well,
You're talking about,
people win.
you're talking about organized killing movies. Movies about organized killing. I don't know. Is that a trend, Ivan?
I have 2 comments. First one, it's a trend. Definitely, it's a trend. But Leila, do you know when it started, this trend? It started in ancient Rome. They like to kill people for entertainment. In organized battles. So it's pretty old trend.
Yeah.
But Ivan, can you understand me? It is out of my comfort zone.
People are cruel. People are cruel. People are killing for entertainment since humankind existed. So it's, and when you say that we are cruel now, no, now we are the less cruel in the history whenever it's existed.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're kinder and gentler today. As you understand the movie more, Layla, you'll find out that this lab, they're trying to do a good thing. We'll explain it later.
Okay.
And usually, what was I right talking about doctors? They black humor and they became cynical with times, with experience.
Yeah, well, yeah, you get used when you deal with death or something unpleasant all the time, you get used to it. Yeah. And it doesn't affect you much anymore.
It's kind of similar situation, right?
Yeah, similar. I mean, these guys still understand it's serious, especially if they fail, they understand how serious it can be. So these people understand it's serious, but they don't get excited about it much anymore because, yeah, they do it over and over. You know, there's no surprises to them usually. They bet on what method they're going to choose, but they know the people are going to die in the end. So there's no suspense for them much.
Yep.
So
Well,
they don't get too excited about it. Yeah.
But they cannot assure that they're going to die because the ritual is done in several countries. And
Yeah.
all the countries.
Sometimes they fail. Yeah.
That's the American.
Well, that's why they have to manipulate the game a little bit.
Yep.
To make sure that it goes in the right direction. So Marty was a problem they had to deal with. Wait a minute, he can hear the voice. He's not drugged. Oh my gosh, you know. And then they thought he was dead, and they went, "Oh, whew, I'm glad he got killed." That gets rid of that problem. Yeah.
Yes, you told that doctors can joke about this, but
They can. They start to joke.
yes,
Yeah.
and I remember also they joked about Japan kids. Yes.
Japanese kids. Yeah,
Yes.
Japanese kids. Yeah.
They I don't know.
They used black humor, right?
No, they wanted them to fail.
To fail. Yeah, they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, Japan usually won. They usually got the sacrifice done the quickest, I guess.
Yeah.
But in this event, in this case, Japan failed because all these happy kids, they were so used to ghosts in their movies, ghosts didn't scare them.
Yeah. It's not. Well, it's hard. You know, it's easy to scare us, but it's hard to scare modern kid because he used to computers games and zombie and everything, so it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am listening to Vova, just oh my God.
But they hated, the Sitterson especially hated the Japanese because one, they were always happy. They were always happy people. And number two, they always beat them. So he hated the Japanese.
Yes, and in the end of the movie, they somehow they killed the monster, and they did it to a fox.
Yes, they did not kill the monster. You're speaking about Japanese girls. Right? They singing something to the
Yes.
monster. Yeah, they
Oh,
became friends, with the monster. I guess.
Yeah, they laughed at it and it didn't scare them and they didn't die. So I don't know. It's strange.
Well, you wrote Ikigai. I don't know what is this. It's Japanese something.
Yeah, it's a famous book about the Japanese technique to live a healthy and long, happy life. It's a bestseller.
Okay, I see.
It's a term for that practice. Yeah.
Longevity.
Okay. So baiting, we understand. Let's go forward. Gerard, could you please answer next one or two because we already mentioned some. Number 5. We stopped number 5.
What clues tell us that something is amiss regarding the teenager's feelings? For still, but the first.
Amiss means wrong, Teacher Lee.
Yeah, something that's off a little bit, something that's not quite right.
Okay,
The
wrong.
behavior of the girl, the blonde girl. He was sassy.
Okay, the blonde girl was acting not normal. Marty
Yeah.
pointed that out. Everyone's acting strangely.
Yeah.
So
And
the
the-
kids' behaviors, kids' sexy behaviors.
And the guy, the strong guy, the tall guy, short, also was like alpha male.
One guy
Short.
became an alpha male. Yeah.
Yeah, Marty said that. It's not usual that he does that. What more?
remember as they were driving through the tunnel, going to the cabin, what happened? Do you remember?
There was a bird, right? Eagle.
The real. Okay. There's a magnetic field, a magnetic force. Yes.
Yeah, so a bird flew into an invisible force field and got electrocuted and died.
Mhm.
And we're all going, what the hell was that? Okay.
Actually, you just mentioned that someone was acting strangely, right? Can I
Yeah.
say strangely is an adverb here, right? Can I say someone was acting strange? Is it the same or I?
Well, for the word strange, yes, we do it strange or strangely.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Only certain adverbs, we can use the adjective or the adverb, and they mean the same thing.
Okay, thank you, Because I think that I hear strangely more rare than strange. I guess probably.
Yeah, these kind of words are called flat adverbs. You can go quick or you can go quickly.
Mhm.
Both are acceptable, but go quickly is more correct.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. So clues, we found this. So Gerard, what the kids was about to do this night? What was the idea?
Play this game through them or there.
Dare, yeah.
So one, if you choose truth, the person that choose truth must to answer some delicate question, a question that probably the person don't like to answer to,
Yeah.
and there to do something that for sure the person would dislike to do. So it's like between a hard rock and a hard place. How do you say that?
Yeah. So they take turns, and the person whose turn it is, someone will ask them, do you want truth or do you want dare? What kind of embarrassment do you want to receive? And they can choose truth, ask me a question, or dare, challenge me to do something.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the game.
But it's a strange one, right? You are going to be embarrassed in as a way, right? As a way. So why people play this? To philosophically. So they, by putting themselves in this situation, they become close this way. That's the reason.
Yeah, the goal is to learn to know each other better by learning some of your secrets.
I see. Leila, would you like to play this game?
Oh, no, thank you. But what I'm thinking is it right that at that stage they may have, felt the impact on the drug on them?
The drug is affecting them. That's
Yeah.
why they're kind of doing crazy things. They're acting strange. Yeah.
Yeah, but the game chosen is not because of the drug. So it's just what kids play, right?
Yeah. It's just a way to kill time.
Okay.
And also, what I have noticed that in the room, the boy, the black boy, saw the picture of, just so bloody.
Yeah.
And so, he wanted to get rid of it. Do you remember that picture?
It was a mirror, right? One side mirror.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I said, okay, they are going to die.
Yeah, that's another subtle clue.
Yeah.
Why is that in a cabin in the woods?
No, literally, I watched the picture a bit, different ways of dying, right? And also there's monster there. So I said, okay, strange things are going to happen.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Well, at least we understand that it's not just a cabin in the wood, right? So nobody will, put one mirrored, one-way, how we call it, one-way mirror.
Yep.
Just, in the
On the wall, right?
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
So another strange thing, why would they have a one-way mirror in a cabin in the woods? So little clues that something's amiss, something's not right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vasants, would you like to take the next one? Number 7.
Yeah, where do they end up, and what decision do they make that proves to be a pivotal unfolding plot? Okay, yeah. So they were playing the truth or dare game, and that girl, what's her name? Dana, right? Dana was sent in to the basement, and there she found some eerie things and dolls and everything. So there they found a diary of a young girl, and it was written in Latin. They couldn't understand what was written, but it was written in both English and Latin, right? So they could grasp half of the story, and it was so cruel and horrifying. So that guy wanted to stop that reading. Meanwhile, Kurt, right? I think Kurt chose the ball, and he did something. I think that's how they chose which way they are going to die. Yeah. So, and yeah, and
Yeah.
there's some-
I remember in the beginning of the class, Gerard said that sometimes reading is more scary than the movie. And, you
Yeah.
know, I agree in that part. When they read this book, this biography of this girl, it was kind of too much, right? So what was written here? Well, do you remember?
No.
Wow, it was eerie thing, as my son said. You know, we killed someone with a saw, right, with a chainsaw or something. So yes.
And I think the girl, they cut off her arm and ate her arm or something, and
Yeah.
she was okay with that.
Yeah. So she did it for God's sake, right? So for God's sake, yeah.
It was a sick
I'm
family.
sorry. These
Yeah.
things are happening in this film.
No, it was just
Yeah.
written in the book.
In history.
Okay.
It was something that happened a long time ago. Yeah, a diary.
Okay, because I stopped here, I said, no.
You didn't watch beyond this point in the movie?
No, not actually. Thank you.
Oh, oh, you missed a great movie, man. I tell you.
Oh, no.
A great nightmare for Layla.
I want to sleep tonight.
Oh.
Okay, we already answered number 8.
I wonder number 9, who's going to answer? I wonder how she died.
Do you want to know?
Yes.
Gerard, could you answer how Jules died? Number 9.
With a zombie, she was making out with her boyfriend on the middle of the woods. But a zombie appeared with a chain, and I don't know how to call this device.
Is it a soul? No.
It was
Well,
a trap, a bear
What?
trap. Like,
Yeah, one had a saw, one had a knife, one guy had this, it looked like a bear trap, and he threw it at you and it grabbed onto your back. Yeah.
It's against wolves, right? Hunting, something.
Yeah, so they all had different weapons. So the dead family, when they read the Latin, Layla, when they read the Latin in the diary,
I was thinking, I hope zombies are imaginative.
yeah. So when they read the Latin in the diary, that made this dead family come up out of the ground, and they as
Yeah.
zombies. So that was their chosen method to die, was by reading the Latin. The zombies were gonna kill them.
Yeah.
So the couple went out into the woods, and he wanted to make love, but she started to take her clothes off, and she said, "Oh, it's cold here." So
Yeah.
so Sitterson had to do something, right? Sitterson needed this couple needed them to die. So he needed to keep them in the woods. So what did Sitterson do when she said it's too cold to make love? Do you remember?
it raised the temperature. It raised.
Adjusted there.
Yeah, so they raised the temperature in the woods to make it warmer. And he did one more thing. Do you remember what else they did?
Pheromones, The pheromones.
Gas.
They
Yeah.
they released a gas that made them want to have sex, a pheromone gas, to make them want to have sex more. So they warmed up the environment and released love gas, if you will, to make sure that they made out in the woods long enough for the zombies to get there.
Yeah, one could ask why it's so important, right, to make them to do this. But later we understand that every victim must play a certain role, right? So they have not just 5 sacrifice, right? They need like them of some roles. They have some roles, right?
And we'll learn about it later, but the sexy girl, the blonde, she was designated to be the whore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the whore had to die first. That was one of the rules.
Yeah.
So they had to make sure that the woman died first. So this is a critical part of their plot, their game, if you will.
Mhm. So that's why it's not just, just a killing in the woods. So that's not why someone with a revolver when they killed everyone, right? They building the story. They making roles and story plot in general.
But I don't know how they made sure that the zombies killed the girl first and not the guy, because both of them were being attacked.
Pure luck, right?
Yeah, it must be a luck element there.
And sometimes if you put a massive boy here and a subtle girl, probably subtle girls will die first.
Unless the guy defends her and he dies defending her. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Number 10. What happens when someone dies? Well, what happens?
I remember some mechanical thing is
So on the wall there are some kind of bas-reliefs, right? Usually, can I say bas-relief? So some kind of picture on the wall.
Yeah, a bas-relief picture that has grooves in it, that blood can run through the grooves.
Mhm.
So it was some kind of a blood sacrifice device in the form of a picture. Yeah.
Bas-relief.
I don't remember. Hadley pulls this thing
Level.
Reveler, and some water with blood is
Spilled in this canal. I don't know how to call it. Some conduit.
Channels, conduits. Yeah.
Yeah, lever. This is right now.
well,
Yeah. Sounds, it looks disgusting, right? Looks disgusting, but we understand the real meaning, right? It looks like this blood is squeezed from the body, correct?
Yeah. So what happens, Layla, is that under the lab or somewhere in the lab, there's 5 figures that represent the 5 students. So when that
Oh.
student dies, they pull a lever and blood runs down into that student image's vessel.
Oy.
And that's one of the, so they're making 5 sacrifices. So when a student dies, they release blood into the vessel, and that kind of appeases these evil gods somewhere in the world.
I did understand. Thank you, Teacher Lee.
Okay.
What about next 3? Can you tell us how they did, how they died?
Marty is the pot smoker, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The funny guy. To me, he was
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Kurt is the most handsome.
Yeah. That was the Thor guy.
Right.
How they 3 died? Can you tell us?
Yes, Marty was killed by a zombie. Then Kurt was also killed by. Kurt was trying to escape to bypass the tunnel because they the tunnel was tumbled down. Is that right? Not tumbled down, but collapsed.
Yeah.
Then he wanted to bypass the path by jumping from the cliff. with the help of his motorbike, a sports motorbike. But when he tried to jump off the cliff, he just bumped into the invisible screen in between. So he died there. And then Holden, the scholar, the scholar took the vehicle RV back to the woods. So he wanted to go as far as the vehicle leads them. Then they wanted to go by walk in order to get help from anybody. But during that drive, one of the zombie was inside the RV, so it killed him. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Kurt's dedication, right? So the tunnel is broken, right? So let me jump on the motorcycle. Wow.
Yeah, so there was a narrow gorge or ravine that was pretty wide. Normally you went through the tunnel to go around it or to go over it. So this was another glitch in the program. Wait, the tunnel's open. They're going to get away. They're going to escape. Oh my God, maintenance, why didn't you blow up the tunnel? Well, no one told us to. Oh, so the senior guy runs down there and gets under the control panel and touches wires, and he blows up the tunnel right before they're about to escape.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. Oh, something went wrong. Oh my God. So he saved the day. Okay.
Let's we covered number 14, right? So it was a Marty hidden drug stash that kind of changed the behavior. Marty himself survived the attempts, right? Of killing.
I don't know how, but
we don't know.
he was stabbed in the back. But later he acted like he wasn't stabbed in the back. So I didn't understand that, but he survived. Yep.
But in general, they are very brave in this movie, these kids. I remember Dana goes through the massive battle with this zombie, right? He hit her so many times, but it was nothing for her, right? Just
yeah, he was beating her pretty bad. Yeah, golly.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, let's go to the next one, number 15. Bo, can you tell us?
How do survivors Marty and Dana end up in the underground lab facility? Marty shows Dana the secret lab.
Actually, it was a grave, right? It was a grave.
Yes. And Marty says that he can block the system to elevate them down to the lab, and
He was a hacker, kind of.
yes.
Yeah, and also he killed a zombie. Do you remember the arm of the zombie
Yes.
on the floor?
This was the arm
Helps a lot, yeah. Okay, Vasants, would you like that?
Yeah, actually, is this a parody kind of movie?
Parody?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because when I watched that Dana was being beaten up by the zombie, it reminds me of every cinema that the antagonist takes so much time to kill the last guy, you know.
Yeah.
That's
And then Marty, when you look down on the floor, there's this zombie in small pieces. And he said, I used a trowel, which is a little gardening tool. I used a trowel to chop him up into small pieces. So he's lying on the floor in small pieces. And the hand is trying to grab something. Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember, Vasants, we watched a movie once, Death by Murder, or how it was?
Yeah.
Murder by Death. So it was a parody for detective movies, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays we have a parody for all the thrillers, right? So all the cliche, all the stereotypes are here.
Yeah, they even laughed at the guy, on the telephone. He was telling something terrifying, but they
Oh.
were laughing. They couldn't control their laugh.
Yeah, they were making fun of Mordecai. Yeah, he was angry about that. It's the doom of the world. We're all gonna die. He was real solemn and religious, and they made fun of him.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what do they discover there? Vasant, could you help us? Number 16, discover.
Yeah, underground lab. Okay, in that lab, they found an elevator. He believed that it leads to somewhere else, and he believed that it is the doorway to those zombies. So someone sent those zombies to kill them. So he wanted to go there, go down, so that they will find the way to see who sent them all. So he jumped down, and they were traveling through the bunch of cubes. So it's a correlation, is that right? A combination of so many elevators. No? Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of beasts, right, of different kinds for every kind of development of the story, right? For every branch of the story, they have so many beasts here, right, in this lab.
So it was kind of like a zoo where all the animals were kept in cubes and the cubes could move around. So they were in a cube moving around, and as they moved around, they saw all these monsters in other cubes.
Teacher Lee, how come do these two survivors found out the fact that there is this lab behind this?
They are puzzled at this moment.
The access was inside of a grave, an open grave. So when Marty was dying or being attacked, killed by the zombie, I guess they must have fallen into the grave.
Okay.
And well, when they were down there, they found that the grave had a panel that went into the lab. So that's how he found out the lab existed.
Okay, thank you.
And then inside the lab, inside that cube, he stabbed cut the zombie into small pieces. So when he took Dana back down into the grave, she said, "Why are we going into a grave? Come on." So they went down in the grave and they went into the lab, and he got the door to open, and that's how they got into the cube.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
the cube started traveling around this zoo, and they saw all these monsters. And they tied some of the monsters were things they saw in the basement of the cabin. That's that's the ball we found in the cabin. He was a horrible man with saws in his head. So,
Yeah.
so they realized that this lab facility somehow is how they was trying to kill him with the zombies, because the zombies were in the zoo too.
Mhm.
The weird family was in the zoo. Yeah.
Vasant, please.
Yes, and Marty already had found the camera, in the lamp. So he already was suspicious, and this elevator thing, the underground grave thing, also added more value to his suspicion.
That's right. Back in the cabin, Marty found a hidden camera by accident.
Yeah, very good, Vasant. Yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah.
Somebody's watching us. We are puppeteers.
Okay, so number 70. We already covered this. Let me try to summarize, right? So according to the director, who was Sigourney Weaver, right, who we face in this scene, so she arrived and she told them, we are very sorry that we have to kill you, but if we don't, the whole world is going to die, because these gods, they are very cruel, and we keep them entertained, and it's the only reason why they passive, But if they will not be entertained in a way they choose, by killing people, the whole world will die. That was the idea, right?
So what we're saying, Layla, is there's these old gods that used to rule the world a long time ago.
Yeah.
And somehow they went to sleep. And mankind came and populated the world. And then they found out about these demons that live underground and these sleeping gods. And the demons said, you know, the gods want to come back and take over the world again. So the humans said, no, 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 no. What can we do to stop that? So the demons said, if you entertain us, if you sacrifice some people and give us some good entertainment, we'll let the sleeping gods sleep.
Oh.
So these labs all over the world, their jobs were to sacrifice people to keep these demons happy.
Wow.
But on this one particular day, all of the facilities failed. Their sacrifices didn't follow the rules. The people,
Okay.
and some of the rules are the free will. They've got to choose how they die. The whores got to die first. The virgins got to die last. They've got to be given a chance at the gas station to turn around and not go. So all these other facilities failed. Even Japan failed. So this facility was the last one that if they didn't kill all these 5 people, the whole world was going to die. The whole world, the old gods were going to wake up and come back to the earth and kill everybody, and demons would rule the world.
Okay.
So
No,
the
I
directors,
do understand, right?
so
it
they're
is like
sacrificing a few to save the many. Yeah.
So, as I have mentioned before, 1 or 5.
Right.
Okay.
So they're sacrificing 5 or 20 or 100 to try to save 8 billion.
Yeah.
So the director said, we're sorry we've got to kill you, but this guy's got to die before you do. This guy's got to die first, kill him, So a strange situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, number 18. What goes wrong?
What goes wrong in the facility when they try to kill Marty and Dana? Some policemen.
A special group, right, of policemen. They arrived. Okay.
They followed Marty and Dana, but Marty and Dana they was in the headroom and they opened all these cameras with monsters and monsters attacked police.
So they were, right? It's plural. They were in this control room, right? But I remember that there was a zombie arm. Do you remember?
Yeah,
Zombie
in the elevator, right?
The soldier caught him in the elevator in their little cube, and he was going to kill Marty, and the zombie hand distracted him down at his feet. And then when he looked down at the zombie hand, then Marty overcame him and knocked him out.
Okay.
And then they ran to a small control room that controls the zoo, the cubes.
Yeah.
And there was a big red button. Don't push the big red button from Men in Black, right? Whatever you do, don't push that button.
Okay, final confrontation. Vasans, do you remember final confrontation? Marty, Dana, and the director.
Well, let's back up to number 17 just a minute. Or number 18. So when they escaped, they hit the big red button and released all the monsters.
Wow.
Okay. Sorry, Vasant, go ahead.
Yeah. And the director, they found the director. The monsters killed everybody. So they managed to get under the facility room, and there they found the director. The director explained how they are trying to satisfy the gods, but she wanted to kill that Marty. the girl Dana also decided to kill him because in order to save the entire world, she was pointing her gun towards Marty, but one monster came behind her and attacked her. So by using that moment, Marty managed to knock the director down, and with the help of the single-handed zombie girl, she was about to cut Marty's head, but Marty found she was coming. Then he flipped down. She let the director sit upon him during the fighting. So the zombie girl cut the head of the director. Then, the plan was spoiled. Nobody died. The Virgin was not the last one to die, so the plan was failed. Yeah, that's how the god of sun emerged from underground. Yeah.
So the world, as we know him, as we know it, was destroyed, right, by cruel gods, and all this happened because we could not kill the Virgin, the last. Right?
Yeah, and Marty was actually the only smart guy in the whole movie. She said, "Marty has to die." The director, you have to die so that others can live. And he said, well, if all of us have to be sacrificed to save society, maybe society deserves to die.
Very good answer, right?
So his
But I'm
point
so
was,
happy,
yeah,
teacher
go ahead.
Day. I'm so happy that the monsters killed almost everyone in the lab.
Yeah. And remember some irony. Remember, Hadley always wanted to see what the Merman looked like.
Yeah.
So the Merman was what killed him. So when he saw the Merman, he went, "Oh, for God's sake! What? Now that I see him, he's going to kill me."
Another good news. Good.
Little humor there.
So only Jana left, right? She wasn't.
And
killed.
Marty, because Marty didn't die, the test failed.
Okay.
And the gods woke up and they're gonna kill everybody and take over the earth.
Okay.
So Marty and Dana, they're all bloody and beaten. So they sit down on some steps and go, "Oh, well, I'm sorry I tried to kill you, Marty. That's okay. We're all gonna die anyway." So, and then the dark god stuck a giant hand out of the ground and it was all over.
Oh my God.
So they said, so Marty's last regret was, "I really wanted to see what the gods looked like."
Well,
Yes, I liked when Marty was so calm. Well, I'm sorry I tried to kill you. Yeah, I totally get it.
yeah. But well, I understand what scared you in this movie and why didn't you watch it. So I totally understand. But I enjoyed the movie. So it's interesting. One, it has a good combination of irony, kind of parody, and some twists, right? Some kind of contrast. So it's not just thriller and all the same. The group of people crossing the woods. No, it was a lot of things inside. There was this lab technician, this kind of jokes, and the idea is pretty fresh, I would say. So we usually movies, films, they reuse the same idea, but this one is fresh one, right? So I like this. I give them credit for this. Yeah.
Look, Yvonne, I mean, I'm ready for, just your choices. But as I told you before, sometimes I really feel scary. So I don't want to, just go on watching because I want to sleep tonight.
You're missing a lot of good imaginative stories, Layla. You're limiting your enjoyment of the imagination.
Okay, teacher Lee, I will start tomorrow onwards. Okay.
I think I know the solution. Next time when you are going to watch the movie, let's watch the movie together. I will ask Vova, we'll make a Zoom session, and we will, talk with you if you really scared of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Okay, Layla, close your eyes. Okay, Layla, open your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Vasant, what about you?
Yeah, I like it, and I could guess so many spooky moments because they were cliche, especially when she was looking at the elevator. It was so dark, and the werewolf suddenly appears, and I could sense that. But there were so many unexpected spooky moments too. When Chris died by bumping in the invisible screen, and in the gas station, the weird looking guy Emma appeared from nowhere suddenly. So there were some unexpected spooky moments also. So yeah, this movie is not the complete parody movie, they balanced it. So
Yeah.
both things.
Yeah.
And I like this cliche, let's go together, let's be together. Looks like professional works, right? So let's go everyone to their room. Oh, do you remember?
Yeah, he released some gas that made him change his mind. No, let's split up, And Marty's over there, split up. You just said stay together, which is the only smart thing you've done.
Yeah, nice one.
One plot hole to me was the exploding tunnel. This was a tunnel cut through a mountain.
Mhm.
And they do this scenario over and over. So if you blow up the tunnel, to do it again, you've got to clear that tunnel. And you've blown up part of the mountain. You can't keep blowing up the tunnel if you're going to keep reusing this cabin in the woods over and over.
Mhm.
So that part didn't make sense to me.
Yes, and also I remember Hadley and what is his name? The Sitterson was discussing that they need to clean after the monsters.
Mhm.
That things that monsters
To fix all the things that most people do. So they will not
Vova, next time let's watch together.
Okay. We will call you next time. Usually it's on Saturday. Okay, we have very few times. Teacher, thank you for this choice. How did you find this movie?
I watched it a long time ago. I don't remember what made me watch it. I think somebody suggested it to me.
Okay, a good one, good one.
But-
I understand it's a bit spooky, but it's a good one to discuss.
I knew you'd like it because it has some twists.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, these two positive guys, right? Our lab technicians.
enjoy a cup of fresh coffee.
Enjoy a cup of fresh coffee. Yeah, nice. So it's everything is so positive, right? In this lab about these guys, they never, they never serious. They kind of a opposite of what is going with the story, right? So let me fix it, So it's not a problem, I'm a professional. Let me fix it. It's I like that mindset.
Yeah.
Let me find something to scare Taylor, right? Yeah, I like it this one. Vasant, could you explain what is happening?
Yeah, this girl, this is the list of the way to kill them. And this girl bet on the zombies, but actually they chose the zombie redneck torture family. So he said he's arguing that those are two different things. So you can't claim your bet. Okay, that you can see a lot of.
Yeah, they shouldn't have two different zombies on there.
Yeah.
She chose the wrong one.
Yeah, what is interesting for me on this, board, so many waves, so many beasts, and it's a big corporation. They have so many departments, right? So biomed, data archives, Admins. Yeah. Wow.
So if we stop here and look at some of the things we saw in when the monsters were released, okay, we saw the werewolf.
Yeah.
Wraith, the fourth item, Wraith is that smoky ghost.
Mhm.
That smoky ghost was a wraith. Farther down, we got the giant snake, big giant snake.
Mhm.
The mummy, the bride, scarecrow, merman is on the other column. Merman, we saw the merman, we saw the unicorn. The unicorn impaled a guy with its horn. Jack-o'-lantern, the twins. Yeah, I don't remember. The zombie redneck torture family. Yeah, so kind of cute, you know, different ways to die. Yeah.
I can see first one is werewolf.
Werewolf, yeah. You've seen this, yeah. Yeah. Unicorn is usually something very positive, right? We say
Yeah.
it's of unicorns, right?
So this was a killer unicorn, like Monty Python's Killer Rabbit. This one had a killer unicorn.
Okay, Leila, could you please describe this picture?
I mean, I'm going to try to tell you, taking what you have said to me into consideration. I think this is the control room, and all the technicians and stupid people gathered together, and they're in the woods. They want to be on their own, and it is dark. I think a bit gloomy. The couple look happy because they don't know what's gonna happen, right?
Yep. And they're about to make love. So during this moment in the game, everyone comes to the control room to watch them make love.
Yeah, Teacher Lee.
So everyone came together to watch. And then she said, "Oh, it's too cold." And they all left.
That's the one what she said. Okay.
Yeah. And she said, "Oh, it's too cold to make love." So they all went, "Oh," and they all left.
What is there on the left? It's a kind of shadow. Am I right or wrong?
That's probably the zombie person coming. So they've
Okay.
got to keep them in the woods long enough for the zombie to get there.
Okay.
So when it was too cold, they made some adjustments and raised the temperature. And then they released
okay.
some gas to make them feel sexy. So then they were going to make love, and that kept them busy for a little while until the zombie got there. So
And also, okay, the plan
they had-
was the zombie was going to kill both.
right.
What about on the right? I just can't
It's a grave.
see.
It may be another part of the woods where another zombie is.
Yeah.
So they're having to watch all these things and making sure that they all come together at the right time.
I wonder, Teacher Lee, when I look at this control room, I mean, the equipment is wonderful. So, you know, just
Yeah, it's a huge.
I mean,
so many buttons and
what they are using this control room for? Only this game?
Yes, yeah. They can control everything in the woods around the cabin. They can control things in the cabin. They can lock the doors in the cabin remotely. They can release gas in the forest to make the people feel sexy and want to make love. They can control the environment.
Okay, it's really well.
They can change the temperature in the woods. It's very sophisticated. This is a really multi-million-dollar facility.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like a NASA control center or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
You're tr-
agree. Mom.
You're trying to save 8 billion people, so you have to spend some money.
Some things, right? Okay, Vova, what is going on in this picture?
Japanese students are singing song
Mhm.
to I don't know, to
A ghost or demon, someone,
yes, to
a lady, right?
to to
And you wanted to say to defend against yes, to defend against this ghost. So this
And it
this song is kind of I don't know amulet, right? Against
and then this ghost
disappear.
no
No?
she was a frog.
Yeah, she became to be a frog, a small one, right?
Ah, turned into a frog. Yeah, that's right.
Good. How would you describe this, this class? Is it similar to your class? Something different?
There's a
Obviously, you
map
don't
of
have a goal.
there's a map of Japan, on the left.
Well, do you think that Japan is a small country? Well, is it a small country or big country, Japan?
It's not small, definitely. Made of islands.
Recently, I learned that, on the map, it looks small, right? Japan. It's small. It's not like, Russia or Africa or something. But because it's close to equator, this map is incorrect. So in generally, Japan is pretty much the same as, as it's pretty big one. So, and there are a lot of population. That's more than 100 million there. So it's a huge one.
Yeah.
Now I
They got
understand.
that many people?
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Crowded.
because-
Tokyo's crowded. Yeah.
Yeah, but because in my point of view, the world map had Greenland as a bigger territory. Yeah, because I always thought, why only 7 continents? Why don't they add Greenland as a continent? Because it is the same as Australia. So, but now I understood that, like the shape of the
It's
No,
called
the globe.
projection of something. So if you see that on the globe, right? Globe, it's really different. All the sizes are very different. But if you project this ball, it's something that looks huge. In real life, they're small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Japan is interesting by culture and by everything. Okay, so we have no beasts, right? Almost. But we have this, what I called bas-relief, right? Teacher, bas-relief on the wall.
Bas relief.
Bas-relief on the wall.
It's French. Yeah.
Okay.
So the outline fills with blood when someone dies.
And it's the last one, and I can see the lady, right? The virgin.
That's the virgin. Yeah, she has to die last. She doesn't have to die, but everyone's got to die before her. Yeah.
Looks good. Looks pretty. I don't know, naive. I cannot say what kind of style is this. Is it not Egyptian, not I don't know Greek, something different.
We'd call it stylistic.
Mm-hmm.
Stylistic means it's kind of minimal details. It's just enough to show you what it is, but not much detail. Very stylistic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else would you like to see?
Old gas pump, no credit cards. Our modern pumps, have a credit card slot. They said there's no credit card slot. I don't think they even had money back then. I think they traded food for gas.
Or say gallons, right? Gallons. It's not a liters. It's how we call it imperial.
We call it English or imperial. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that big vehicle is called an RV.
Mm-hmm.
And that stands for recreational vehicle. And these
Yeah.
things are damned expensive. I mean, that thing's over $100,000. They aren't cheap. My God, they're huge. They get about 8 miles to a gallon. Horrible gas mileage.
You have to spend a lot, right? So, but it's better when you stay in one place, right?
In America, there's a stereotype that when people get really, really old, they buy an RV and they drive around the USA visiting all the states before they die.
No. Maybe you like this fact, but in the place where I am now, so in Turkey on this coastal side, there are a lot of signs, road signs that say no parking of RV allowed. because
Yeah.
because there are so many tourists with RV that they have a special kind of parking parks for them, not
Yeah.
inside the town.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a hotel that you take with you. It has a bed, it has a kitchen, it has a bathroom. You just park somewhere and you stay there overnight. You sleep inside it overnight.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Teacher Lee,
places don't like that. Yeah.
he now knows my country better than me. He's traveling a lot.
Leila, and I still don't have one RV. When I buy it, I will travel even more than now.
I mean, I hope. Why not?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Beautiful
you, Teacher
discussion.
Lee. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dear
And
friends.
Vasant,
Bye-bye.
Today you have a very stable internet and good sound. It was a pleasure to listen to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I will maintain that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good headset probably or something, but it's changed, so we can hear you very clear. It's very
Okay.
good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Teacher Lee, and see you next week, right?
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.